Kaitlyn Bristowe quickly became a hit of The Bachelor Nation during the 19th season of The Bachelor and her own season of The Bachelorette. Looking for Love earned her a massive social media following and the opportunity to realize one of her biggest dreams as a competitor on Dancing with the Stars, ultimately taking home the Mirrorball trophy. And now 2022 is her year. After making some small changes in her own life, the former dance teacher is living out her dreams, hitting the road to perform alongside the pros on the Dancing with the Stars tour and planning her wedding to the love of her life, Bachelor alum Jason Tartick. From her Dancing with the Stars tour stop in Morristown, New Jersey, please welcome Kaitlyn Bristowe to the show. Kaitlyn, congratulations on everything. What an exciting time in your life. How does it feel?
It feels so good. It's surreal. It's a dream come true. It feels like, you know, when you have like this childhood dream and you go for something and then it doesn't happen for you and you never really lose that dream. And then it happens and you're like, it doesn't matter where you're at in life. It can happen to anyone if you don't lose the dream.
I agree, and I know that feeling very, very well at the start of this, show, launching this show, even having my son, all of those things you dream of, and finally they come together at the right time. But you had to put in the work, and that's what we're talking about on the show today. And that work can be big changes in your life, like deciding to go on the reality show, but also small changes that perhaps we don't even know about, Kaitlyn, behind the scenes. So I'll start with the upcoming wedding and finding love, the love of your life. We saw the big leaps, but what would you say were small things that would surprise people that you did to put you in a position to find the love of your life today?
You know, it was something that happened quickly for me was getting into another relationship. And I think it was something as small as just being open to the possibility. I think a lot of times, people feel like failures after a relationship ends. And I was engaged from the show. And so I felt like, I could sit here and feel like a failure from this relationship that everybody has watched and has been rooting for. But the truth is, I had already processed it, and I had already been going through a hard time for a full year. And it was the small change of just thinking, I'm going to do this for my own heart and happiness and not for what people want to see on the internet, and just being open to the possibility of accepting love again.
I love that because I think oftentimes, especially in the wonderfully modern world we live in, women particularly are encouraged to say, I don't want to be in a relationship. I am good being single. Me and my girls are going to Cabo,
Right.
And I don't care. But it takes a vulnerability to say, actually, you know what? I do want to be in a relationship. And do you have a friend or do you know somebody? And opening yourself up to that possibility and letting, as you pointed out, the outside energy not impact your desire to want to be in pursuit of a relationship.
Exactly. Yeah. I think a lot of people probably worry about what others are going to think or say. And, oh, she moved on too soon, or she should have been single for a while. And I think they do that with women too, with having a family. I know that I said at one point, after I come off Dancing with the Stars, I'm just going to have babies. That's what I want to do, which I still do. If I'm lucky enough, I still do. But I think it's important to celebrate women's careers as well. It's so exciting to have a baby, but it's also exciting to have a career, and one or the other doesn't have to come first or second, and they can both coexist at the same time. And it's interesting just, having that perspective.
Kaitlyn, I got to ask you, what's more intimidating, planning an upcoming wedding or being on tour as a pro with Dancing with the Stars?
Oh, that's a good question. There's so much pressure for the wedding just because we both want it to be so perfect, and it's the one day you have, and to really celebrate your relationship and have everybody together. And, with the times we're living in, trying to plan a wedding around COVID and trying to, just organize everything is so stressful. But I will say Dancing with the Stars and planning a wedding are both exciting pressure. I'm so lucky to have this kind of pressure on me that I'm trying to enjoy even the tough stuff.
I'm curious, with all the pressure that you have, are there small things that you do to maintain the calm? We had Brooke Shields on, and she talked about 5-minute workout or movement, or even just 5 minutes to breathe. How do you bring it back down?
Yeah, I actually have this thing that I found on Amazon. My girlfriend introduced it to me, and it's, again, 5 minutes. It's the 5-minute gratitude journal. And I've been using it for a year, and it truly, I didn't I didn't really think while I was first starting it, I'm like, how much is this really going to change in my life? But it has completely shifted my state of mind, my perspective, my gratitude. It has completely over a year changed how I approach every single day. And, every day I have 2 podcasts a week. I run 2 businesses. I'm trying to plan a wedding and this tour, and it's all things that I love. So I try to be so grateful that it helps to write down in a 5-minute gratitude journal. Turns out everything, small changes all happen in 5 minutes.
I love that. And we actually had the woman who created that gratitude journal on the show. And you're right.
Nice.
It is this thing that you don't suspect will make this change in your life. And it does. You talk about the list of things and pressure. We know that you were under a lot of pressure to replace Chris Harrison on The Bachelorette and Bachelor Nation. The group of fans are so diehard loyal and have embraced and accepted you. Now I feel that you're in a comfortable space, in a comfort zone there. How do you feel?
I truly, it's been such a wild ride from the start to where I am now with that franchise, just because, I was this edgy little Canadian who never thought I'd make it past night 1 on The Bachelor. And then, going on as The Bachelorette, and I didn't feel like I fit that mold of The Bachelorette. I didn't feel like your all-American girl next door that, they usually had gone for. And so stepping into even that role was intimidating to me, but I wanted to really truly embrace who I was and be authentic. And I think in life, being authentic and staying true to who you are, even if that means you have haters or people that don't like you or people that have these opinions, I think as long as you feel good about who you are and what you're doing, it's going to lead you on the right path to success. And so stepping into that role, I felt so much pressure to, become the co-host of The Bachelorette, because Bachelor Nation, as you say, is very loyal and very dedicated, and they don't like change. And, we were stepping into a role that they've seen somebody be so consistent with for 20 years. And I just decided to make that small shift in my brain and say, you're not stepping into a role. You're not taking over for somebody. You are just being Kaitlyn, and you're going to bring something different to the show where you have been in this woman's position, and you can have empathy and compassion and a different understanding than anyone else. And you can mentor her instead of just stepping into a role as a host.
I think that's very wise, and you can see it. You can see it in the comfort of the show, and even in the comments from the Bachelor fans of the franchise who are watching. The last thing I've got to ask you, though, again, and I don't like focusing, Kaitlyn, on haters, because I think people hate you until they like you, to be quite honest with you. But that's in general. Once they get to know you, people love most people, and folks have gotten to know you and love you. You have, though, decided to handle social media in a different way. You say it's a small change you're making.
Yeah, if anybody knows me, I'm pretty sassy. Everyone likes to call me a firecracker. So I'm somebody that really enjoys standing up for myself, but I'm trying to take a different approach to the haters, because their criticism and their hate comes from their own pain. So instead of, it depends. I still might, have a sassy comeback or stand up for myself. But overall, I'm trying to approach these haters with empathy and thinking like these people are going through it. I'm out here truly living a dream that I've wanted since I was little, and who knows what kind of pain they're going through at home. I don't know what's going on in their life. They don't know me personally. So I'm trying to, either approach them with empathy or bless them and block them.
Well, there you have it, Kaitlyn. Do you, as they say. So thank you for expressing how you handle it, and bravo on all that you've accomplished.